All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening to this. We are just grateful that you are here. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Big Bear Theory. My name is Parker Wyatt. I'm here with Tanner Ahoy.
What's up, guys?
And we have a kind of a fun topic today. But before we get to that fun topic, I'm going to start off with just updates that are going around. We have an official email. So if you want suggestions, any ideas that you guys are looking for, what you like, what you didn't, it's going to be bigbeartheory.podcast@gmail.com. Of course, we'll put information down below so you don't have to worry about trying to memorize that monster. And it'll be in a YouTube video whenever we can get YouTube. There is a delay on YouTube. Do sincerely apologize, and it's coming in the works, just taking some time. But we're getting there. Next new thing is we have an Instagram. So if you're not following on Instagram, give us a follow, like everything, share everything. We have, I think, 102 followers since we opened it up on Wednesday. So give us a good follow. That's where we're going to start doing giveaways. We're going to start doing raffles to be guest shows on our stars. Of course, that's how we're going to share our content and get more involved with you guys. So give us a follow, like everything. You can kind of see we have a couple reels, a couple clips, and we're working on making that even more. And that's it for new things. Nothing crazy this week. And so let's go ahead and get let's go ahead and start onto our topic. This I actually found a couple years ago, and it's called the shopping cart theory. And Tanner, I introduced this to you last week. I wasn't sure if you had heard about it beforehand, but it's ultimately a very base way to decide essentially the good, or what they call the good or bad member of society. And I fell in love with it and just thought it's good. It was something that kind of like made me chuckle. Yeah. And it's just like a really cool, funny little thing. And figure we can kind of talk about it. And then I even actually have a way to go above and beyond to not even be a good member, but what I would like to call the barefoot standard member of society. And we'll talk about that. So let me read it. The shopping cart is the ultimate litmus test for whether a person is capable of self-governing. To return the shopping cart is an easy, convenient task, and one which we'll all recognize as the correct, appropriate thing to do. To return the shopping cart is objectively right. There are no situations other than dire emergencies in which a person is not able to return their cart. Simultaneously, it is not illegal to abandon your shopping cart. Therefore, the shopping cart presents itself as the apex example of whether a person will do what is right without being forced to do it. No one will punish you for not returning the shopping cart. No one will fine you or kill you for not returning the shopping cart. You gain nothing by returning the shopping cart. You must return the shopping cart out of the goodness of your own heart. You must return the shopping cart because it is the right thing to do, because it is correct. A person who is unable to do this is no better than an animal. Maybe a little bit extreme.
Maybe, yeah, a little bit. We didn't write this.
Read this a little bit beforehand.
Yeah, we didn't write this.
No writing here. An absolute savage who can only do what is right by threatening them with a law and the force that stands behind it. The shopping cart is what determines whether a person is good or bad member of society. So I might take out that small paragraph. I don't think these people are animals, but they may not be. How do I want to word that? They may not be encouraged.
Well, this is integrity.
The communal ethics around this.
This is integrity. You know, this is like this is a very basic concept of integrity. So I think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to call them animals, you know, but I think that it's fair to say that they have much less integrity than the rest of us who do put up our shopping carts.
Exactly. And integrity, in a way, can be the balance of a good general balance of whether a person is good or whether a person is a bad member of society. And I like that they say like member of society and not like a bad person,
Yeah.
because my theory is no one is trying to be a bad person, right? Like that's not like, it just kind of happens that there are a series of events, I call it a path, that kind of make people do bad things, or especially in the moment, right? And I always talk about when someone yells at you or something like that, right? Or road rage. It's not like they put on a calendar, hey,
Today.
on March 12th, or yeah,
Yeah.
today. So February 5th, I'm going to scream and flip this Toyota Corolla off, and then I'm going to slam on my brakes and I'm going to flip them off one more time for good measure. No one has this plan. If they do, I'm going to call them an animal. I think this is what we can say as the animal at this point.
Yeah, that's
If you're
that's
scheduling to do this to the poor Toyota Corolla,
that's insane.
you might be an animal, you might be a
Yeah.
savage,
Yeah.
but an absolute savage. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to do the
You forgot
proper
the
wording here.
adjective, yeah.
But other than that, like no one's really trying to be dickish, is what I say. Try to be dickish or anything like that. It just happens. Like there's a path that leads to that, and there's always going to be the straw that breaks the camel back, and that usually goes and leads into that. But there is ways to, either have been raised or how you focus on yourself that could identify whether you are a good, I would even say like a benefiting member of society, and a more selfish member of society, where you're not really focused on society, you're focused more on yourself and them. And this, I think, is probably really what they're trying to get at with this good member, bad member of society. So that's, I do like how it's kind of society, a member of society, not
Yeah.
necessarily talking about the person
Well, it's like
in
the
themselves.
perfect like measuring stick for this like question, because it's like it's hard to think of other things that like you have no possible reward or
Hmm.
repercussion for. The only reward for it is making somebody else's day better, you
Yeah.
know?
Like
So,
you're just doing it, for an unknown person that you
yeah.
don't, like I said, you don't necessarily, like, sure, you may know the employee, but for the most part, none of us know who's actually doing this. And it's not like we're going to get a thank you. They're not going to like coming up to us and salute us and say thank you for your service.
Yeah.
None of this is going to happen.
Yeah, like if somebody came up to me and was like, "Hey, I put my shopping carts up." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah, exactly. Like, good job, bud. Like,
Yeah, do you want a
cool.
medal?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
And
I
so,
do,
yeah, you are right.
if I go to Target today or whatever, or Walmart, and like I'm looking for a parking spot and there's a really nice one, and I'm like, oh, I'm up at the front, and I start pulling in, and there's a shopping cart there, like I'm gonna
Uh,
pull away, go to another parking spot, and I'm like, I'm ready to walk in that Target and punch, dude.
right?
Like
Like, and I
I am
hate when they steal the parking spots. Like, I almost like, if you're going to be, if you're going to be inconsiderate nicely.
yeah, like leave it next to like the tree or like
Yeah,
the grass, you
put it
know?
under the tree, put it on the curb,
Yeah,
put it like on the line where maybe I could like squeeze my car
squeeze in
through.
there. Yeah,
Give me something. Don't
yeah,
don't just leave it in the spot, because it's always like right in the middle too. It's
yep.
like never just
Nope.
the very front.
There's never any room. It's always just right, yeah, dead center.
Like you have to get out of your car to make it happen,
Yes.
and we're not going to do that
Yeah.
because I haven't done it yet. I don't think I've ever got out of my car, because who would? That would be like,
That's
at
even
that
worse.
point they're like judging you on how bad you want that spot. It's not even like, if you even put that shopping cart back, you're getting judged because
Yeah.
you want that spot, not
It's like,
because you
dude,
put the shop.
just move over 3 spots.
Mhm. But it is funny because I remember when I would see people, just leave the shopping cart, whatever. They kind of just push it. They will just push it like, okay, I've done, oh, it's
It's
away
done.
from me.
Yeah.
Like not even towards the what do you call it? the
Yeah,
compartment,
what
the
are we calling
parking
that?
space
The station? The
station.
shopping cart
We're gonna
station?
call it the shopping cart station. They won't
Cool.
even push it towards the station. They're just like, "Be gone," like a wizard's, like
Yeah.
making it disappear. And I would fume, like because I always kind of knew of the theory, even though I didn't. It wasn't brought to my actual attention,
Mhm.
but I did kind of know like these people I don't like. I would fume like you, and just start raging. All the bad words,
Yeah. Dude,
just
you
going at it.
told me about it and it was like light bulb, like
Yeah.
instantly. Because like I hadn't heard of it before either, but I had run it like I had experiences with it before. So I'm like, man, that's so good. That's so good.
So then I took this one step further, right? Because it was a good way to, because we are helping, with Barefoot, we are trying to help people be successful, help people grow,
Mhm.
and, professionalism, uh, improving, evolving into this ultimately good person, right? That's our focus. So I had to take it a little bit further and say that if you put your shopping cart back, cool. Like you're on the good person, you're on a good member of society path. But then we have what I've always called the barefoot standard. And my whole point for saying barefoot standard, so a little prequel, I guess, before I get into that, is I think it's more of a mindset. I don't think it's meant to be like this achievable thing. It's actually supposed to be more intangible. So it's more of a mindset of trying to be the best at anything and everything that you can do. Like you are trying to be number one. So you're trying to be an Olympic gold medalist in whatever sport you're doing. You're trying to get 120 on your final exam. It's not the 100%. I'm going to call it 100% the good member of society. This is the 110%. When your coach wants 110%,
Mhm.
this is the barefoot standard. It's just going to be for anything and everything you do. Could be cleaning your room, right?
Right.
It can be anything. So, this concept, the way that we explain for the barefoot standard, whether it's our lifeguard skills or anything, in regards to the shopping cart, is we've always put our cart back, right? You and I have done this. We have been upset when people don't put their shopping carts back. But, and this is a challenge for you because I've already lost this challenge. How many shopping carts that we have seen on the curb in that parking spot did we take the time to go and put back?
That I didn't use.
Yeah, that you did not use.
Oh, I've never
I,
done that.
I did zero.
Yeah, I've never done that before.
I did zero up at the point. And I remember because I gave the speech in instructor course, like when I heard of this shopping cart theory and I loved it. So I passed it on to our instructor course. And I realized I got so hyped and I was like, the barefoot standard is to put other people's shopping carts back. And that was like an epiphany that I had in that moment.
You're like, I've never done this.
And then I realized I'd never done it. I was like, dang, like I didn't even make my own like I had just come out with the barefoot standard mindset anyway. And I realized I totally butchered it and hadn't done it. So now I will go and I was like, I gotta stick to my word, right? Lead by example. So now I've done it. I've done it a couple of times. Because actually I don't really see a lot of shopping carts out and about. I don't know if it's decreased because this theory came out like 3 years ago, and I almost wonder if it came out as like I don't want to say propaganda, but like to kind of go viral to have people like
Like
second guess themselves.
I like to imagine like Walmart, all like the big store brands were all sitting in
Just
a
came
office.
together.
Yeah, and they're just like, how do we stop this epidemic? Oh, let's put out this hit piece
Yep.
on people.
Part of me wonders, like, that's gotta happen in some degree. That's gotta happen with like the same types of companies, right? I feel like that happens a little bit more. And I had like an idea. It was like 2 or 3 years ago where that I think it would happen to do with like airplanes or something like that. But
Oh
it's a
gosh.
gone. Totally a waste of time even talking about it.
Yeah.
But
Well, I was about to say this is a
um,
tangent, but do you this is random, but do you like flying on planes? Are you
I
like
love
scared of
planes.
planes? You love it?
No, I love it.
I hate it.
I if I could fly anywhere and everywhere, I absolutely would. I love going through security.
What?
Yeah,
You're
because I got a
you're
system.
weird, dude.
I got a system. So when I go to fly, right, I got my suitcase and I just started using carry-ons other than my backpack because now I'm making like 2-day trips and
Mhm.
things like that.
Big dog.
But
Yeah.
I got my shoes. I know exactly what shoes I'm gonna wear. They slip on and off super easy. They they're like just short of the Skechers slip-ons. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Like
Yeah, yeah,
Snoop
yeah.
Dogg and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like just short of that.
But they're
So
like they're not hey dudes.
no,
Okay.
I
They're
think they're
shoes.
Asics. Like they're literally like a triathlon shoe. Like they're just meant to
Okay.
be like I don't have to tie them. Like they literally slip on and I pull the strings and they're tight. That's it.
So very
Super,
comfy.
super fancy shoe.
Yeah.
That's my traveling shoe. So I just pop those bad boys off, pockets out, boom, done. And I already got the jacket zip up, so just plop that in. And honestly, now the machines, you don't have to take anything out. Like you just put it on the bin and then go. And then I like race to put it back on. I'm like putting things in my pocket as like as it's going down. I'm
Yeah.
already pulling things, putting in my pocket, one shoe on. Like I got a whole system all the way through.
Wow.
And then I get there 2 hours early. So usually I'll get like a coffee
Oh yeah.
and I'll play video games on my phone for like
Nice.
until my flight goes off. And then the flight goes off, I got the headphones on. I'm either listening to music or watching a movie, just enjoying the high life, and boom, we land. I love the feel of it starting. I love the feel of it landing. Just to see how good
Dude,
the pilot is.
that's the
Love it
worst
all.
part. They're like, whenever
Oh
you're
man,
starting to
it's
take
good.
off and your like stomach starts like dropping because obviously I didn't go to school for piloting. Okay. I don't know. My
Yeah.
knowledge is very limited on this, but from what I know, when you're going up, it's like whoop, like that. And it's like every time that you're going down, it's like it feels like you're on a roller coaster. And
I
like
think that's fun.
it scares me,
So the
man. I don't
question
like
is, do you like roller coasters? Because this may be the issue.
I like so let's go Six Flags. Okay. I
Okay.
like the Batman, Mr. Freeze. But the Superman, no.
I
Superman,
don't know if I've done the Superman one.
yeah, you couldn't get me on there if you tried. You could offer me a good amount of money and I would do it, obviously. I'm not crazy.
Everything
But
has a price.
yeah, but no, like if I'm just like with friends and they're like, "Hey man, go with us." I'm going to be like, "Oh, dude, I really want to try out these like these treats over
Is the
here." Like,
Superman the one that goes like straight up and straight down?
yes, that's all it
I
does.
hate those.
Yeah.
Those are the
And
worst.
and the swings at Six Flags too that are even higher than the Superman, that
Yeah.
it's you just go up there and then you swing. That's
Yeah.
terrifying.
I've
That's
never liked
terrifying.
those
I can't
either.
do that.
But I hate
But
the Superman, like anything like that Superman ride. I agree with you. I do hate because I don't know understand how people scream. Like I've tried to and I'm
yeah.
just choking on
Yeah, you
myself.
can't get it out. Yeah.
So I don't understand like how people do that. I've always wondered, but I agree. I do hate that ride and I will never ride that. But I do like the turbulence doesn't bother me on a
You like the
plane.
Titan?
Like
You know what the Titan is?
Titan's great.
Yeah, Titan's awesome. That one's
That
cool.
one's super
But
good.
the build up is terrifying. Cause
I don't mind it.
you'll get on it and it's like you'll be going for 20 seconds and you're like, "Oh, surely we're almost there." And then you like look down and you're super high up, but then you look forward and you're like, "Dude, I'm not even halfway
Still
there."
more.
Yeah, like I still have another like 30 seconds. And then finally you get up there, you get that like 3 seconds of just like waiting, and then it's like
Yeah.
boom, and then you're gone. That one's fun
I'll
though.
tell
I do
you
like that one.
the craziest build up roller coaster that I've been on is I think it's Universal. I don't think it's actually Disney World, but they're like right next to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to say it's Universal Studios and it's the Rock and Roller Coaster, which is cool because it's rock music and you get to pick what song you want to listen to
Oh, that's
as you're
awesome.
going through the whole roller coaster. So
That's
that's
awesome.
pretty cool. So I threw on Evanescence,
Nice.
Bring Me to Life. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Phenomenal song.
Yeah.
And but I can't remember if it's straight up, but I feel like it is. Like it's almost vertically straight up, and it is as close to a 90-degree angle as
Woo!
science allows. So
Yeah.
it's the most vertical, like downward you can be, and it is so downward that as you go over, you can't see the rails. So it
Wow.
just looks like you're just going straight off a cliff.
That's terrifying.
And that one is wild because to me, it's as close to the Superman feeling as you
Yeah.
get. And then it roller coasters out.
And then it's
But
actually
honestly, it was so much fun. Like that is that the whole the Titan in for Six Flags, but the Hulk at Universal Studios, the Rock and Roller Coaster at Universal Studios, and then they don't have it anymore. But Harry Potter World, they had dragon roller coasters, where basically the dragon roller coasters would race. So it was two different roller coasters in the same area. There was at one point where like it looked like
oh,
your feet of each other were gonna like touch, and then they went around.
that's sick.
Wow, 4 roller coasters to exist so far. And I know what would make like a top 5. I just haven't ridden yet. Haven't been to Six Flags in forever. But
Yeah.
that Joker roller coaster, I want to do very
Is
bad.
that that's the spinning one that goes like that?
Yeah, it's the one where you're free spinning
Yeah.
as it's going doing roller coaster things.
That's like
I
that
really
is
want to.
that's an advanced like boat.
Mm,
Like it's like the boat that's on that thing that just it basically it almost like takes you 360.
yeah,
Like it takes
like
you
you can literally
basically
spin
right here.
around as you're
Yeah.
riding.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I would not recommend it for anyone that has vertigo
Yeah,
or that
dude.
gets car sick easily.
Yeah, man. Don't go to honestly,
But
if you have any of those, if you're car sick at all or vertigo at all, just don't even go to Six Flags. Or if you go to Six
true.
Flags, just ride like uh I don't know, just stay in like the middle of the park where it's all like the kiddie rides. I'll ride
Yeah,
some rides
play the
with you. I'll be
games. Try to win a stuffed animal.
there.
You'll be
Yeah.
good there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's funny.
All right.
Sorry, that was a massive tangent, but
Hey,
I think it was
it's
needed.
fine.
Yeah.
It was good. I like it. So if you don't like airplanes, get over it. Go to Six Flags. Maybe it'll help.
Yeah. You just got to train. Yeah. You got to get
Yeah.
better. Practice.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. So it is not a amusement park. It is an airplane training facility.
Yeah. Yep. An airplane
ATF.
simulation training. Yeah.
Yeah. ATST.
Yeah.
There we go.
Beautiful.
We're gonna patent that now, copyright that now.
Yeah,
So
nobody,
anyone that wants
nobody
that, you're gonna have to come through us. This is
yeah.
legally binding podcast.
ATST.
ATST. At
Atst. All
all
right,
right,
let's
so let's
circle back
go. Let's throw it back to the shopping cart, the barefoot standard, right? And so we talked about putting it, when you see a shopping cart that you did not use, pushing it back and throwing in. This is definitely like a good way to go. So my challenge for you, everyone that's listening, is the next time you see a shopping cart that's not yours, and you, whether it's on the way to putting yours back, or maybe you're walking into the store or whatever, if you see one, put it back, and then watch this standard. This is some greatness right here. Add it to your story and tag us in it. We're gonna
Beautiful.
start a movement. We're gonna start the shopping cart movement. So you got to move a moving shopping cart, add it to your story, tag us in it, and let's make shopping carts in their home where they belong.
Once again, yes.
Yeah. So I figured, this topic obviously not super long, just more to kind of bring to attention and discuss and just kind of test yourself. It's a very easy test, kind of like making your bed, right? Which don't worry, for people that know me, that podcast is coming. But I just thought it was like a good thing. And I figured we could do story time because, it helps to kind of know where Tanner and I came from
Mhm.
and some stories that we can share so you can kind of see the experiences that we have. And Tanner, we were talking in the beginning, you said that, and this is not super directed towards the shopping cart theory, but just kind of people that we've experienced that maybe don't put that shopping cart back.
Yeah.
I'll lead it to you, Tanner.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think, like, the shopping cart theory, I think it's a good idea for the overall theme of, like, not cheaping out in the moment. Uh, we talked about it in a few podcasts ago, like, valuing the long term over the short term, right?
Yep.
And this shopping cart theory, the people who are leading the shopping carts, they are very much valuing the short term because they just spent an hour in the grocery store. They're tired. Maybe they just got off a shift at work. This was their first stop. They can't wait to go home. So in the moment, it's obviously easier to just leave that shopping cart, right? And they
Yeah.
don't
The
think,
path that we talk about. Everyone
right.
has a path.
So, and they don't even think about who it's going to hurt. Well, when I first heard this, the first story that kind of came to mind for me was I went to Texas Tech for a year. Okay, when I was 19 years old, I moved away from here, moved there to Lubbock. I was living in a house with two other people. And we signed how if you live in a house or if you get a lease for an apartment or house, you're going to have to sign a 12-month lease. That's typical. I don't know, like maybe different places are different and maybe it's 13, maybe it's 11 here and there.
Usually
Regardless,
6 and 12 are most standard.
yeah. So, but regardless, they don't go off of your school schedule. They don't. The people who are renting out your house, they don't care that you're in school. Like they just want to sign the amount of lease or the amount of month lease that they're going to sign to you. So we signed a 12-month, and we signed a 12-month in August. So school year starts in August. So as you can probably already do the math, and I was wanting to come home in the summer just to spend time with my family. So as you
Right.
can do the math, there's 2 months there that I wouldn't be in school, which is June and July that we had planned on paying rent for. Well, we go through this whole school year. And like I said, it was me and two other guys. We go through this entire school year. We get to May, maybe like late May. And we're talking about, oh, are we going to go? Are we going to stay here? Are we going to go back home? And we ultimately came to the decision, like, let's go back home. But like I said, we still had to pay rent for those 2 months. Me and my best friend, he was my best friend. He still is. His name's Nathan. I have no problem
Right.
putting his name on here. But me and Nathan, we were on the same page. Like we were like, okay, we're gonna pay our rent, pay this guy. And I think we did it. I honestly think we paid him over Venmo. I think back then,
Okay.
and that was back then. This is 2018, so that's even crazier.
Man,
But
y'all so advanced.
I know, and it was
How
so easy,
fancy
man. It was so
it
easy to
is.
pay rent. Like it was like inexcusable for us to miss rent.
Yeah.
Um, so we go home, me and Nathan, and then our other roommate, he goes home too. Um, and we're paying our rent, whatever, and we have to go back up there in August to move it. Well, we thought that everything was paid off. I thought that everything was cool and everything was good. But 6 months down the road, or maybe 7 months down the road, I get an email, and it's like it says something about my credit score. And a lot of you listening are probably like, I don't even get what credit score is, right? Like, and I didn't understand it at 19 either. Like, I didn't know how impactful credit was. I
Yeah.
didn't know what a good credit score was. I didn't know what a bad credit score was. But I see this email and it's basically like it's ripping into me. It's like, oh, your credit sucks, and so is looking for this in collections, and I'm like, what is collections? So I click the email and I go look, and I remember my credit score was like 410 or like 450, which, like,
Jeez.
yeah, if you don't know what it is, that's horrible.
That's
450 is,
terrible.
oh, you're not getting a loan anywhere. Like you're not going to be able
Yeah.
to sign
Like
another lease.
people don't even look at you.
Yes, exactly. So I'm like, how could it possibly be this bad? And I go and I look at the collections and I'm like, okay, let me click this link. And I go, look, our third roommate had not paid his part of both of those months.
Jeez,
So
dude.
so we thought that we were all paid up. We thought that we had been paying, full for the entire months. And who was primary name on that lease? Me.
Dang.
Me. So who do they
So
go
you got
to?
everything.
Yes. So who do they go to for the collections? It's me. And
Wow.
everything fell back on me. That's why my credit score was so low. Um, and I think I talked to this guy afterwards, and I was like, yeah, like obviously I got the money from him. I was like, I'm not paying this out of pocket. Like you're gonna help me with
Yeah.
this, But there was no way for him, even if he wanted to, there was no way for him to help my credit. Like the deed had been
That's
done.
already, yeah, damage is already done.
Yeah, like there was nothing he could have done. He could have gone to the I don't know, like I don't know if there's like a central office in Texas for it for the credit, but like or he could have gone to my bank and like begged them, like told them exactly what had happened and said that it was his fault and they would have changed it. They wouldn't have changed anything. So he had no repercussions for it. And that definitely honestly that severed a tie in our friendship. Like that was like I was very upset at that.
Real.
Yeah. But it, this is an even better funny part to the story. So let's go back. Okay. So this
Okay.
is 6 months after moving out. Okay. That I find out my credit score is completely screwed. Let's go back. So August, right? I had after we had moved back for the summer, I was still on the fence if I wanted to come back to Texas Tech, and I ultimately decided not to. I ultimately decided to come home full time and go to community college. Well, we still had stuff there. We still had stuff that we had to move back to Frisco from our house.
Right.
Um, and we go there, me and my friend Nathan, we go there and we're broke college kids, broke, completely broke. We scrounge up whatever money we can. We ask people for help with money. Um, not too many people because we're both like the same way. I don't like asking for money. I'm just like
Yeah.
I'll figure it
Just
out.
bare minimum. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So we scrounge up whatever we can and we pay for a U-Haul truck. Okay. And we had to guesstimate what size we needed because we didn't know exactly what was going home with us. We didn't know like there's no way you can possibly tell. I mean, if you've moved before, like it's like it's never there's no science to it. It's like
Yeah. You just
yeah, you just kind
put
of
it
go.
in there.
Yeah. So we rent this U-Haul and it turns out that after moving all this stuff in, we're short. We're short. Like we have a couch and a recliner and a lamp in the living room that's just sitting there. And we had to be completely out because we weren't renewing our lease. So they wanted us completely
Right.
out. Nothing, anything of ours in there, we were going to get fined for. And we're like, and another important note is that it was hot. We had no
It's
AC.
August, right?
Oh, it's August. It's mid-August. We had no
Yeah.
AC because we were moving out. So even
That's
inside the house
Texas.
was like 90, you know? So we are miserable. We're working the entire day. We're sunburned. We're hot. We're sweating. Our clothes are dripping. And we get to this end point. We figure out we're short, and we're both just like, man, like let's just bring it outside and just leave it in the front yard.
Someone
And
will
like,
take it. Yeah.
yeah, and like somebody, we were like in our minds, we're like, oh, we're doing somebody's going to drive by this and be like, oh, I want this couch. Like the couch was all right.
This is true. Like I do this, we do this all the time. We
Right.
always just put it out, and usually within like 3 days, it's
Somebody
gone.
takes it. Yeah.
Yep.
But so we're thinking of that. And, more so we're thinking in regards to us. We were thinking in the short term in this moment because we were like, dude, we don't want to go through the extra trouble. We don't have enough money to go get another U-Haul.
Right.
We're not bringing all this stuff out of the U-Haul we've already packed in there to see if this will work. So we ended up leaving it in the front yard, and we got charged like later. I think this was probably October. This was way late.
Dang.
But I think we got charged. I can't remember the dollar amount, but it was like it was like something about the lawn, like he pinned the lawn being like ruined in that area to the
Oh,
couch sitting
gotcha.
there.
Like the grass died.
Yeah, like grass died, so we got charged with that, and we got charged like I don't I think we lost the deposit on our house, which I think
Okay.
in total was like $700. Um, yeah, so we were thinking in the short term, man. We were like, oh, we're tired. We just want to go home, man. Once we go home, everything's going to be fine. It's all going to work out. But we should have thought in the long term, man. We should have planned moving this stuff way in advance. Like this, deciding to move this stuff on that day was like the day before. Hey, do you want to go do this tomorrow? Yes.
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's go. Yeah. When
And
are we
legit
leaving?
too.
Oh, yeah, we're leaving at
Yep.
7 a.m., and it was like it was not planned. It was like very willy-nilly. But from then on, I've noticed I kind of was able to sit back and realize like the person who moved into that house, could you imagine signing a lease and then you go to your house and in your front yard is a couch and a
Is a
recliner?
couch.
Like yeah, so like and I didn't think about that in the moment. Like I wasn't thinking of that person, but thinking about it now, it's like, man, I feel so bad for that person, because it's like they come there, they're excited to be in their new house, and they're like, what the hell is in my front yard?
Right.
Like,
But maybe the stars aligned and they're like, heck yeah, we needed a couch.
hey, maybe,
I
yeah,
got a
maybe
couch.
it's perfect. They're like, "Ooh, this is crazy, we needed a couch, lamp, and recliner, and all of these are in our front yard. That's
We
crazy."
literally just had no living room stuff, and
Yeah,
now we do.
yeah,
Which is possible, by the way, for
possible.
people. I this actually works pretty well. It's a good little segue. So I've moved a lot. I've had a lot of roommates, a lot of things. But technically the second time I moved um, out and I moved in with my best friend at the time, his fiance, and it was just the three of us. So we were a 3-bed, 2-bath house. The amount of stuff that we did not have was insane. So in the living room, we had a TV. It's like a 32-inch TV that was on the floor. That was it.
No
And
stand,
then,
no
yeah,
table.
no stand. We had
Wow.
a coffee table. This is in quotes. The coffee table was one of the moving tubs that I had. So I emptied it out and it just had my
You
clothes in it,
flipped
took
it.
all the clothes out, and I just put like a tub. Yeah, and it's like maybe 2.5 feet, maybe. And that was our coffee table. And then I found these Hobby Lobby camping chairs for $10 a piece.
That
And
was
that
your
was our
living
living
room.
room. That
Wow.
was our living room.
No
Yeah,
couch.
no couch. It was so
Wow.
spacious.
Damn.
And I think for cooking, we had like one of each pan. Like we had a normal skillet pan, and we had not even a spaghetti pot, but like the higher one that you could boil
Right.
water. We make basically a single serving of spaghetti in, and there was no bed.
Man, college life.
Yeah. And so I slept on the floor. That actually starts my barefoot journey, but I think that's like another episode.
Yeah.
But what started it, a little teaser, should we say, is I used my rent money, my first month's rent money, to buy a mattress because I couldn't sleep on the floor. And I had no more money to pay for rent, and rent was due in 3 weeks. So there's where it all started. But fast forward, my best friend, he had a brother that was moving up here and asked if he could stay live with us. So like I'm all for it. I'll support him. He he's not a bad person, but he was a bad member of society. Let's just put it this way. Um, for this one story and one story only, he was a bad member of society. So keep in mind, I'm broke. Like
Yeah.
I think I'm making $8 an hour, 8.50 an hour, right? And my grocery budget per week was $25 per week. That was it. And I had to eat for a week off of that, which generally would be
Bread.
spaghetti was my fine dining. with ragu sauce, because it's cheapest.
Which
And
hold on, for those of you who don't like haven't been to the grocery store, that's not fine dining. That's like what, $3?
yeah, ragu is rough. But like the spaghetti, the package was 99 cents. The ragu sauce, I think, was like $3. And
Nice.
so I'd buy a bunch of those. I'd buy a loaf of bread, and I would buy literally it was an industrial can of peanut butter. It's like the same size as a paint and like you paint the walls in your house. It was
Wow.
that size, and that would last me like a month. Sometimes I had sometimes it do to like 2 weeks, but bread, peanut butter. I'd buy about 10 cans of Chef Boyardee cans because I would bring those to work, and it had to be the poppable ones because I didn't have a can opener,
Yeah.
and those are like 99 cents a piece at Walmart. They're like $1.06 at Kroger. Those robbing people. So Walmart is where they had to come from, and yeah, that's all I bought. So basically, $25. I'd buy all of that as much as I could of that week, and then I would have like a peanut butter overlap that would happen. But I decided to go big and kind of like treat myself, right? So instead of $25 on all these things, I decided to make, I'm going to say homemade in quotes because it wasn't homemade, but as homemade as you can get, baked ziti. So we got the fancy noodles. We made our own sauce. So like I chopped up tomatoes, and I think it was again not homemade. It's like tomato sauce, but I added some
Yeah.
seasoning, added some flavor to it, and then got the fancy cheese to put on top. Make this big ziti, $25 for an 8.5 by 11 or whatever that pan size is, that normal wide rectangle pan size is. And I had about a 1 inch sliver all the way across, keeping it easy. The next day, I worked like a 13-hour shift because I worked like 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. when I worked. I wanted to get all my hours knocked out in like 3 days. I come back like 11 o'clock, so excited for more of this baked ziti.
Oh no, dude. No.
And
No.
I'm pausing because it still hurts me. Like it still brings tears to my eyes of how upset I was with this moment. But I open up the fridge, and basically all that was left was 1 inch sliver all the way across. And so I
So hold on.
scream bloody Mary.
So you had already eaten
Just 1 inch.
small, yeah, 1 inch sliver, and then you're saying that you come home and he had eaten everything else but a
But
1 inch
1 inch.
sliver. Wow.
Yes. So
Wow.
let's say 10 inches, eight to 10 inches of baked ziti.
Oh my gosh.
Probably like 4 or 5 pounds of food
Oh my god.
in a day.
That is
And so I
crazy.
scream, I'm like, Rex!
Yeah.
And Rampage, WTF, and all these things. And Chris comes out, and I was like, did you eat this? And he goes, no. So that only leaves one option because it's not his fiance. His fiance was like a bird. She like packed on like 200
Yeah.
calories a day.
You're like, no
and that
way
was
she
it.
ate all this. Yeah.
No way, right? So that leaves one culprit.
Oh.
And so he comes out, his brother, and I was like, did you eat my baked ziti? And he goes, dude, that was so good. That's how he addresses the whole thing. And
Wow.
so I told Chris, I was like, you have to deal with it. There's no way I'm going to deal with this in like an effective manner, because
You're like,
I'm like 20, 21. So in peak of Marine Corps. So my mindset is to find something and beat the crap out of him
yeah,
until I'm satisfied,
you're ready to fight.
which
Yeah.
I can't do. Yeah. So I was like, deal with it. And so we
Oh
like
man.
talks and all this, but I do get payback. So we fast forward. It's not resolved. I haven't forgiven him. I don't think I can forgive him for such a atrocity.
I like
But
to imagine he's like, this whole time he's been trying to like mend the peace, and you're just like being a total ass about it.
I do want to give him kudos though. All right, this man has completely turned his life around. Like he is like in a I don't know what the chef term is, but he basically, at least from the update I got like 2 or 3 years ago, um, he's like a chef and at like this kind of a chain, there's like a few of them around, and he
Mhm.
will actually go and travel to the places that aren't doing well and help them like be better.
Oh, cool.
And it's crazy how he does this. Like there'll be people who are like, I'm not doing all that extra work and blah blah blah. And he goes, cool. And he'll fire them. And he goes, I'll do this myself. And then he just like does everything. So man has completely turned his life around. He's done absolutely incredible things.
What is that show? Like, I know he's not the guy, but there's a show like that, right?
Like Gordon Ramsay, where he like flips the bad restaurant.
No, is it Restaurant Impossible? Is that a thing?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, the big dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
dude. Yeah, okay. That's what I'm thinking
So
of when you're
he
saying that.
kind of does that, but he does it for just the chain.
Right, okay.
And he makes them better and does great things. So I do want to give him a shout out that he's turned his life around. But I won't forgive him, even though he has turned his life around. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Nothing can replace
Um,
that Ziti, man. Nothing can
just
replace.
like the love was put into it,
Yeah.
like or just ask. Like that's all it could have been. Like if he would have asked, I'd have been like, hey,
You can
you
have
know,
a little.
fine, have a little square,
Yeah.
but like
The whole
ninety
thing?
percent of it.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy.
But homie ends up getting a tattoo like right on his sternum, and it's black. Like it is like it's like a star, and it's very tribal type deal. So there's a lot of ink all the way through.
Yeah.
He was
A
like,
lot
"Hey
of work.
Parker, you want to see my tattoo?" And I was like, "Cool."
Oh, I
And
already know
so
where this is
he
going, dude.
day of first day, he shows me, and I go, "Oh, that's cool." And I get real close. Wow! Like as hard as I can, I slap the crap out of the thing. And he goes, oh, and he's like grumbling and everything. He's like, Parker, why would you do that? And I was like, for my big ZD, like
He's like
2 years down the road.
mind blown. Yeah. Dude, wow. That's a good
So
get back.
I got a little bit of payback,
Yeah.
and it's crazy, man. Like, yeah, it's still like, I don't know why, but it literally brings me to tears. Like, because I still visualize
Well,
the
it's like
ZD being gone.
it was like you had the X. It wasn't so much that you missed the ZD because the
Yeah.
ZD, correct me if I'm wrong, it was like a cheap Z, like it was like
It probably wasn't. No, yeah, like you're not. It's not no Maggianos that
yeah,
we're having here.
but you
Yeah.
had the expectation the entire day of
All
being like,
day, 13-hour shift.
yeah, like I'm gonna work this shift. Like that's what got you through the shift.
It did,
And then you're like,
100%.
man, I'm gonna go home. And then you get done, you clock out, you drive home. On the drive home, you're like, man, I am so excited. You were probably
It's
listening to
go time.
music. You're probably singing along. Like you're like, let's go. Like,
Dude, Tanner knows me so well because all of this did happen. Like this is so true.
you're like, let's go. You walk in, and then it's just instant frown. Boom.
Hurt
Oh,
my soul, man.
I'm sorry, man. That's tough.
It was.
That's
So I
yeah.
still have I have tears of it today. But it's funny. Like it's obviously a funny story.
Yeah.
Wasn't funny at the time, but it's just one of those stories that just will stick with you forever.
Yeah.
And I think we got that.
Well,
So,
I mean, it's like a
and
perfect roommate story.
yeah. And then we got, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure like we have a bunch of these. And I
Oh,
think we may even have like maybe just like a day where we kind of like
talk
talk back
through
and
'em.
forth on
Yeah.
this, keep it casual.
Yeah.
Obviously we're here to kind of help uh, figure out life, perceptions on life and things like that. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people would appreciate. I know you mentioned like a lot of people may just appreciate just hearing like who we are, and what we've gone through and like why, these
Yeah.
stories like this kind of lead to why we want this podcast. So if you're interested in that, then keep up the 5 stars, keep up the followings, and we can offer and provide those things. So I think it would be a great time to have like more of a casual day, like you've been wanting, Tanner. So That
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that is en route for everyone else. That'd be super excited for that. But you gotta support us. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on whatever Spotify seems to be. It's like 90% of our downloads are from Spotify. But whatever you're listening to us on, just share it as much as you can, post it as much as you can, follow as much as you can, rate it as much as you can. It's crazy. Like I hear everybody say this. I watch streamers. I hear other podcasts. They say everybody says like, subscribe, follow, and it really is true. Like it really does help. I've seen it from personal experience now,
Yeah.
and sometimes that's just like what you need, right? You got to get that like personal experience, and now it makes sense. So
Yeah, and
do
every
it,
single one,
and
like
it's free.
every single one like and one share and everybody's comment, man. We appreciate all y'all. I mean, it's awesome.
And the comments are fun. I
Yeah.
have really enjoyed when we got the Instagram and they're leaving comments. I love the comment. So
Yeah, and I
yeah,
think the
definitely
ultimate
check that out.
goal is to like be able to be interactive, like
Yep.
fully interactive with you guys. So like your comment, like if you want to see us do a specific episode, or you want to hear us talk about a certain thing, or you want to see something specific, like just let us know, you know.
Yep. So that is why we have the email. So again, it's big bear theory dot podcast at gmail.com. All that information is below in case you can't remember it. The Instagram is the same thing, big bear theory dot podcast. So wherever you want to give us this information and like help us, interact with you guys, we do it for y'all, right? And so we want to make sure that you feel fully engaged any way and every way possible.
Heck yeah. Couldn't agree more.
All right, so let's get some bills paid. Mad Rabbit Tattoo. I did like a little demonstration of how well the bomb works. I still have it over here by my side. I literally have 4 of these things, by the way. So I just it's like my deodorant. I just keep it like everywhere, and that way I never run out. You do not have to buy 4 of them. Just again, how much I love it. But I had mentioned that there was like 3 products, and apparently I lied on accident because they have like 100, well, not 100 products. They have a bunch of products. So I mentioned the lotion, mentioned the balm, and what I didn't mention or didn't realize is they have sunscreen. So all my lifeguards out there, they have sunscreens. They've got tattoos. Want to keep them nice and dark and good.
Oh, perfect.
Sunscreen is out. So
What's
I
the
will be trying
SPF?
that in the summertime.
What's the SPF on
30. It's
30?
30.
Nice. Okay.
So I thought it'd be 50, but they did 30. But I'm going to trust them because I feel like all the products are like right
Top
on the
notch.
money right
Yeah.
now. They have a body wash and they have
Ooh.
2 soaps. So they have like 2 like bars of soap. One just like soap, but one's like an exfoliation thing.
Heck yeah.
And then they also have like they have stuff for like tattoo artists themselves. So they have like lighting stuff, and then they have like a. You know, did you ever get a tattoo where they like it's like a wrap, but it's like a
Yeah,
you
the
put it on there for like 3 days.
yeah,
The derma wrap, I think is what it's called.
it's not saran wrap, but it's like the same thing. Yeah. Like the
Yeah,
clear, you're saying clear.
yeah,
They're
clear
like,
wrap. Like you keep it on for like 3 days or something like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They have that too. Then they have like a numbing cream on top of that, and actual merch and things like that. So they have everything. Use our code to get the discount, man. Like it's a better discount than you'll get for signing up for anything.
Yeah.
And it, like I said, it also helps us out. But Tanner and I both agreed that we're not promoting anything that we don't 100% believe in. It's stuff that like we actually want you to use, and that's very, very important that we are only doing that. So, like I said, I have 4 of these. I have the repair gel. I just got the lotion. It's not in yet. Comes in tomorrow. I missed it by 1 day. So not this episode, but the next episode will have my thoughts on the lotion. But we love these products.
Yeah.
So nothing that we're advertising unless we support it 1,000%, unless you guys support it 1,000%. But code is bear BEAR 2024, 20%, and it's limitless. You can do it today. You could buy stuff next week. You can buy stuff next year. You can use it every single time. Saves you 20%, helps pay for the podcast, and allows us to do more stuff for you. If we want to do like giveaways and things like that, all that's going to it. So it's not us, it's to the podcast to make sure everything keeps rolling.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the other products too, because I want to try out the numbing cream because
Right?
I got to get this done. Got to get this
Ooh,
elbow done. Yeah.
elbow.
So
It's good, man.
yeah,
Elbow's
man,
good.
any help that I can get in that regard for like
Yeah,
limiting the pain, that's what I'm hoping for.
so the elbow when he did it didn't hurt as bad as I thought. It was still like, but he had like a really good
Yeah,
method to it.
because all
But the
tattoos hurt.
healing,
Yeah,
yeah,
all tattoos hurt. Some are
and it
just
definitely hurt worse than most
yeah, yeah, yeah.
spots. But um, it was the healing for me of the elbow because like I couldn't. I mean, you driving, you pop your
Yeah,
elbow up. When you're writing, like
yeah.
it's on your elbow. Like yeah, it's hard.
Typing,
So
anything, dude. Eating, yeah.
so numbing cream or anyone that would be good. And then I did like the repair gel stuff. So
Mhm. And the body wash.
that
Body
was
wash
actually
is
pretty
cool.
cool.
I bet the body wash is pretty good.
I kind of want.
I'm gonna go get
I'm
those.
so
Yeah.
sad because I just bought body wash, but I really want to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I'm
think
over here like looking away because I'm like, I don't want Casey to be like you're not buying something you already
another
have.
body wash. Yeah.
But maybe I will. Shh, don't tell her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Mad Rose are using. We are looking for other stuff. We want to promote against stuff that we support and we believe in. If y'all know of anything, email us, Instagram, DM us, whatever, and we'll look into it and see if we can provide that for y'all. Uh, Barefoot World, not a lot going on. We got the LGI courses. We just finished our first one, so we got I think like 15 more LGIs up in DFW, and we got 9 down in Houston. So very, very good to see. Numbers are coming in. If you have not applied yet, applied. The application link should be in your email. So if you can't get it, can't find it, reach out to Tanner, myself, or Kevin if you're down in Houston, and we'll figure that out for you. But sign up. We'd love to have you. Love you to be a part of it. The next course, we're doing a break. Super Bowl weekend, baby, and that is more important. I'm just kidding, but it's important. So the next class, session 2, starts February 17th. Last but not least, Tanner and I, we are recruiting. We're recruiting some lifeguards, uh, monitors, managers, and everything. So if you want to see us at your school, let us know, and we'd like to be a part of it and try and get face to face time to get to know y'all and any friends, any returning guards. If there's any friends that want us to meet, we'd love to meet them. So
Yeah.
if there's clubs or sports, we're looking into sponsorships and things like that. Anything that we can do, just reach out to us. Reach out to Kevin again if you're down in Houston, and we can talk about all these things and all these opportunities. But we want to go and meet y'all, the returning. We want to get some time with you guys. So if you got something going on, there's a cool event going on, reach out to us, and we would be more than happy to see what we can do to try and join it. And other than that, that's all I got. I really appreciate everyone as always. We love y'all. This has been such a fun time. And we are at, just so everyone's aware, I think we hit 72 downloads as of right now. So we're close to 100. And I think when we get 100 downloads, I want to try and give away something. So more details on that to go. But thank you so much for getting us. We're actually 12 ahead of what it predicted us to be. So we're 12 downloads ahead. And I want to keep that. So
Yeah.
like, share, send it out, follow us, all the great things. Thank you all so much for everything that we do. Appreciate every single one of you. Hearts of love out to you guys.
Love you guys.
See y'all next time.
See you guys.